I had an accident. I was doing a bit of DIY. I was up a ladder, I was pruning this tree down, and the ladder slipped, and I broke both my arms at the same time.
Blood. Real blood.
But what I thought was, as some of you may have noticed, I'm quite a connoisseur of hats. So I thought, to commemorate 1 year in the VC, that you might like to pull out 5 albums that have people wearing hats on them. And it's not, I'm going to expand it a little bit, so it's not just hats, it can be helmets, headgear, but yeah, 5 albums where people are wearing hats on the cover.
So this is Midge's 1 year anniversary thread. That's Midge's Vinyl Gems, Midge's Gems. 1 year anniversary thread. He wants 5 albums with hats on, and he did say helmets, so I'm going to concentrate on the helmets, and I'm going to try and give him 10, but I'm going to try and link it to some of my favourite films with motorbikes in, or a favourite motorbike scene. So it's going to be UK films, UK motorbikes, UK hats. Let's go. So first up, I'm going to go with Captain Sensible, and he's got his beret there. So Captain Sensible is in a group called The Damned. I don't have a Damned record. And I'm going to link that to the 1962 Hammer House of Horror film called The Damned. So here's a trailer. So this is directed by Joseph Losey, and it stars Macdonald Carey, Shirley Anne Field, Viveca, Lindfors, and Oliver Reed. And Oliver Reed is actually quite good in it, and it has a really nice bike scene with all racing along the seafront, and it's shot in Dorset, in Weymouth. And actually we've taken the Royal Enfield down to Weymouth. There's a bike going past there. So have a look at this, and here's the bike scene.
Black leather, cool. Last one to the unicorns, the cube!
Okay, so you hear the bike start up, and they're all running. All the gang members seem to have this uniform of the same helmet. It's a nice triumph and BSA's are the order of the day here. So this is shot in sort of Portland, Chesil Beach, and Weymouth is a lot less built up than it is now. But they come along the seafront to the town, and then there's the bridge over the dock, and you see a theme here. But actually the sort of dock area is still pretty similar. A lot of the buildings similar. There's a pub in it that's still there. So we're going over the central bridge now to the other side. You can see the clock tower from there. There's like a little clock tower roundabout on the other side. So good stuff, like scenes like that. So it's about this American guy. He falls for the sister of the leader of the gang, and that's Oliver Reed. And then, as you do, they discover in Portland a secret military base where they are brainwashing children. So it's a really fun film. I recommend you've seen that. So it's The Damned, 1962 Hammer House of Horror, or in the US it was titled These Are the Damned, not to confuse with other films called The Damned or have damned in them.
Black leather, ta ta ta. Black leather, hip hip hip. I got that feeling, black leather rock.
So the next film I've chosen is another one of my favourites called The Leather Boys.
Go on, get out, leave the men to men's business.
And this is from 1962. And if I ask you what these two records have to do with it, that's right, nothing. But this very morning, I brought this. Okay, so this is a singles, and on that it's got 2 singles, Ask and Girlfriend in a Coma. So if I look at the cover, you'll see on the albums we've got the famous Meet His Murder hat.
Everything I do goes wrong.
And on the inside, any hats, I think we've got Avril Angers there with the hat. And if we show you the cover for Ask, no, not that one, not that cover for Ask, this cover for Ask. So the film is directed by Sidney J. Fury. It stars Rita Tushingham, one of my favourites, Colin Campbell and Dudley Sutton, all of whom are fantastic in it. It's a very sad film, a broken marriage, and if you stay to the end of the film, you'll understand why the Smiths, why Morrissey was very interested in it. So I'm going for the cover of Ask. There are a couple of hats on this flyer. That's my excuse.
That's the scene. You're too much.
Right, let's have a look at a clip from it. So it's set in London, and all the bikers focus around the Ace Cafe, which is a very famous cafe for bikers. So I just love these scenes, all the bikes, Triumph, Ariel there. You got a lot of Triumphs. There's Ariel there, Norton in the background. Lots of BSA Gold Star, Triumph, Triumph Dominator, Norton Dominator, kind of thing. BSAs, lots of BSAs actually, lots of Triumphs. They seem to be the main two makes. There's an Ariel in there somewhere. I just love this scene where we're all piling onto the road. I love films like this, biker films, any biker film I'm a sucker for. Just got the Norton on the front right there. So they're all sort of jockeying for position. And you know, a lot of the scenes where they're racing along, it's really good filming for 1964. Some of these are sort of on a trailer, but of course they're passing different bikes. Some of the old 60s cars there on the side of the road. So the object here was they would go to, they get a postcard and they have to post it from a certain town in that place in Edinburgh, and then race all the way back and see who's the first back. See, overtaking the bikes here is absolutely fantastic. And some of the scenery, again, the Lake District, I guess this is. And this is a really nice scene at a sort of cafe stop. No transport caps there, it was just like a van. Lovely Norton in the background there. And I love this scene actually, the panning scene where they're just leaving as they pull away.
I didn't have the chance of an ice cream in purgatory, did I? Here, come on, Noddy's got his money. We're going down a boozer, get some scotch down his throat, eh? Come on, pay us a bit more right spending Noddy's money.
So you see in the background we've got Reggie and Rita Tushingham as Dot. Let's just take a minute to look at it. Gran was played by Gladys Henson.
There were times when I could have murdered her, but you know I would hate anything to happen to her. No, I don't want to see her.
So next up we have The Girl on a Motorcycle. So this is Marianne Faithfull and Alain Delon, directed by Jack Cardiff. In France, it was known as La Motocyclette. So let's just have a look at the trailer. Now she's on I think she gets a wedding present of a Harley Davidson Electroglide. But when they're dating, she gets driving lessons on a Norton Atlas, so that's the British bike. In it. It's a bit of sort of a erotic psychedelic. It's not much of a film to it. So what's the link? So the link is Marianne Faithfull, and she's singing "It's All Over Now, Baby Blue." Did I have a copy of this? I've got Farewell Angelina. It's All and Over Now, Baby Blue, but no hat. So I had to go to Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits, It's All Over Baby Blue. So he's wearing his trademark cap there. That'll do. In the film, she wears a sort of strange old crash helmet. I just thought I'd show you this. I don't know if you see that. That's a kite mark. So this is my old vintage helmet, which I'm sure if I wore now would be completely illegal. Okay, so that's The Girl on a Motorcycle. Thank you.
Paradise is for the blessed, not for the sex obsessed.
So in the intro sequence, you saw the film, a sequence from the film If, with the hit single from the film, which was called Sanctus, and that is from something called Missa Lumba. Let's put a picture of that. And that is, Missa Lumba by Le Troubadour de Roy Baudouin. The Missa Lumba, which is like a Latin Mass in the Republic of Congo. That's how they do it there. And they featured the track Sanctus, 1 minute 36, which is one of the shortest hit singles ever. So that's from that album. I don't actually have that album, but the film, If, will come to that in a minute, but it was part of a trilogy, the Mick Travis trilogy, which is a fictional character, which was played by Malcolm McDowell in over 3 films, directed by Leslie Anderson and written by David Sherwin. So I don't actually have that. I did see it in the charity shop, and it doesn't have a hat on it anyway. But I do have the second in the trilogy, Oh Lucky Man, and on the back we've got Malcolm McDowell in a hat. And also the cover of this features in another Malcolm McDowell starring film. It actually features in the record shop scene in Clockwork Orange, where they're wearing their film's bowler hats. A bit of Easter egging there. So the film itself, it's like a kind of, it's the first in the trilogy. Some people say Oh Lucky Man is the better film. Nonsense. If is actually the all-time masterpiece, one of my top 10 favourite films. I love the cafe scene and the bike scene in it. Starring Malcolm McDowell, Richard Warwick, and a very sexy Christine Newman, who's just absolutely gorgeous in the cafe scene. So yeah, it's like a rebellious student uprising in a public school setting, and it's like a sort of comment on the class system at the time, and it ends up in them rebelling and sort of anarchy. But yeah, let's have a look at a couple of the scenes. Right, so first up, one of my favourite scenes where they steal a bike. Lots of old cars, Hillman Hunter. And if I could just stop you actually there at 8 seconds in. So you've got a BSA, I think it's an A65 that they steal. But if you look behind the red one and you see the black one, I think that's a BSA Bantam. And if you look at the sticker, I think it's a D14 4S that I used to have. So I've got a picture of it. That was my first proper bike. My boss actually gave it to me, so it's a D14 4S. So there's me on it out in the countryside, and I used to take my Japanese girlfriend Haruko out for a spin, and we'd go out and find a quiet spot in the countryside. And anyway, let's carry on. So he's got on the bike, he's started it up. Yeah, I think it's a BSA A65. It's got that saddle on it. And off they go. So now they're kind of off to the cafe on the stolen bike. So they pull in at the Pack Horse Cafe. Lots of nice old 60s cars there. So that was really the heyday of BSA motorbikes. So here they are. They go into the cafe, and this is where they're placed on the jukebox. But this is one of my all-time favourite scenes with Christine Noonan. Completely deserted cafe. Just her appearance is brilliant. The way she appears and the general aura.
Yes?
Yes.
2 coffees, please.
I just love the way that she shoves the cups along the counter. Then he puts a load of sugar in it.
Sugar.
And she slaps it in the face. Just used to having a lot of cafes. And there we are. One of the most famous film songs. One of my top 10 films of all time, easily. And I love after have a bit of a tryst on the floor here. And when she comes up behind him, she puts her hand on his shoulder. Some of the best dialogue in film ever.
Go on. Look at me. I'll kill you. Look at my eyes. Sometimes I stand in front of the mirror and my eyes get bigger and bigger. And I'm like a tiger. I like tigers.
She loves tigers, I bet she does. And I just love this bit. This is the perfect combination. BSA, Malcolm McDonald, and Christine Noonan. Absolutely love it. Okay, so next up, just a couple of quickies. So this is from audiophile label, True Audiophile label. It's Ronco. So this is 1973. So this is the soundtrack from the film That'll Be the Day. And is there a bike? There's a Triumph bike on it, and there aren't any bike scenes, but there is somebody wearing a cap there. David Essex, perhaps more for him later. Somebody called Ringo Starr, Keith Moon, Rosemary Leach, and also Robert Lindsay. And there's also quite a bit of Billy Fury in it as well. As for bikes, let's just watch the bike scene.
The pictures on Saturday.
Yeah?
I've been working non-stop since Friday night.
So that's definitely a British bike. That's a rally bike.
Water's getting lower. Bugger me, it's going to be a scorcher.
There's a lot of Billy Fury on here. One of the tracks, Long Live
Too
Rock,
bloody hot to be taking exams.
written by Pete Townsend, but sung by Billy Fury, so that's quite
Sod
interesting.
the Congress of Vienna. And bloody Napoleon.
So he chucks his books in the river.
And the War of Jenkins bloody ear.
What
and
are
he
you
sacks
doing,
him.
you daft bugger?
Sod it.
Sod it.
You've gone mad. Come on, I've got an extra pen.
I've had enough of sod in school. Madame de Pompadour was, I think, a silly old whore. She made a pie from Jenkins' ear and washed it down with a bottle of beer.
Now, which group, which song, which album does that feature in? I'll give you a clue. It's a town in France. Also famous is this little scene here.
I think what Mr. Tempest is trying to say is that
Stormy Tempest.
you want to get rid of me, but you can't, can you?
You can't, can you? Walks off.
Ever thought of writing your own songs? What? I mean,
mean, instead of always doing crummy Cliff Richard songs, you ever thought about writing your own?
Poor Cliff.
No, not really. I can't write.
Okay, following on from that, again, 1974, we have the sequel, the film Stardust, on the audiophile Ronco label. There we are, and that stars David Essex, Adam Faith, Larry Hangman, and Keith Moon. It's also got Dave Edmunds, Paul Nicholas, and also a very young Peter Duncan is in it. I think that there must be a hat there in the centrefold. It's all very blurred. There must be a hat. Not really very much of a bike film, but there is a police escort in one of the scenes where the band has a police escort. Pete Townsend, My Generation by The Who, in it. And it also credits the fictional band Stray Cats, Jim McLean, the fictional lead character, and the fictional band, which is quite nice. So that's Stardust from 1973.
What's this all about?
Stray Cats, -1.
Why she shot her husband with a bow and arrow.
leaving.
She said she didn't want to wake up the children.
You can't leave me.
You can't leave me.
Hey, I went to see the show Hair the other night.
Does Mike know about
I realized
this?
there were so many Jewish actors around.
Fancy a drink?
Say, did you hear this one?
I am the Stray
River,
Cats.
New York. Take an aerial
Oh,
photograph
that's
of the
it.
waterfront disaster.
We're tired of being your ghosts.
A longshoreman moved.
If it wasn't for me, you'd still be catching crabs in Oldham.
Hey,
You'll
I saw the
disappear.
bridegroom at a Polack wedding. He's the
We
guy that
disappeared with you.
Jim McLean flew up to San Francisco for a little peace and quiet. So he found a peace. Now he's just hoping she'll keep quiet.
This is silly that we can talk about this. Yes, sir.
I bought my mother-in-law a chair for Christmas. Nice thought, huh? Trouble is, she won't let me plug it in. You know, Jim McLean's girl asked him if he believed in free love. Of course I do, I said.
Jim.
Did I ever send you an invoice?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's keep the Who to a minimum. So it's 1975, and it's the soundtrack to Tommy. And Tommy, including Eric Clapton, Roger Daltrey, John Entwistle, John and Marguerite, Keith Moon, Jack Nicholson, Oliver Reed, Pete Townsend, Tina Turner, The Who, with also Robert Powell, Jack Nicholson. So who do we have in the hat? We open her up, and we have Oliver Reed, and we have Tommy in his skull cap. We have Elton John with his pinball hat, and also Christmas, the other hat. So that's Tommy. And so this is really how Midge got his injuries. So he was part of the Hells Angels. He wasn't up a ladder. He was part of the Hells Angels, got into a biker fight. Here we go. Bang. We got lots of chopper bikes, but I think you'll find these most of these are kind of British bikes. There's a lot of British bikes very popular in America at the time. So we've got BSAs and Triumphs again. Triumph on the floor. Shameful that they're treating these bikes. Lots of nice old number plates though. I think there's the old Japanese bike in there. Poor old Midge got quite a kick in, but he managed to escape. That's a friend of Midge's there. Terrible. So this is Midge. It's about to be shot. I come in and rescue Midge. So this is me. I'm being played here by Roger Daltrey. Thanks, Roger, for stepping in. Vinyl community.
They worship me and all I touch. Hazy-eyed, they catch my glance.
Got to include that.
Pleasant shudders shake their
Right, enough of that.
my warm momentum throws their stand.
So this is how the NHS treated Midge. So there he is, as good as new, just a blood transfusion, no problem. So it's 1973 to 1979. So the film Quadrophenia, based on the 1973 album Quadrophenia. It wasn't a requirement to wear a crash helmet back then. So it's set in the 60s, but we still have the bowler hats on the train, the 515. And of course the uniform hat of Bellboy. So can't believe I don't have the soundtrack album yet, but we do have the DVD with the 2 trilbies on the side. Love it, the scene as they come into Brighton on all the scooters. Love that scene. And also the British bikes, the rockers. And all the pan of all the extras, and of course the final scene. Okay, so I said I wouldn't mention The Who anymore. So we've got 1980, McVicar. And we've got the prison guard there with the hats. And also the prison guard there with the hats. Roger Daltrey, Adam Faith. Steve Burkoff, good performance. So drums, some of the musicians, drums Kenny Jones, bass John Entwistle, guitars Pete Townsend, keyboards John Rabbit Bondrick. Of course Roger Daltrey, but apart from that, it's nothing to do with The Who. 1980, McVicar, bang. And of course the, was it TR6's P model? Those were the Escort Police Triumph bikes, Triumph TR6s, there we go. Roger Daltrey, Kenny Jones. Nothing to do with The Who. I said I wouldn't bother with The Who anymore. McVicar, 1980. Okay, and this is David Essex's soundtrack, Silver Dream Racer. I used to have it, I don't have it anymore, but as you can see on the cover, this is David Essex's biker film. He's got helmets on the cover, and the soundtrack, and the single was Silver Dream Machine from Silver Dream Racer, the film. That's David Essex, Silver Dream Racer. Beau Bridges was in it. Not a great film, to be honest, but lots of nice, actually a lot of Japanese bikes, but still classic now, lots of Japanese bikes. Yeah, so David Essex, Beau Bridges, I can't remember. Not a very memorable film, but a bit of fun anyway, worth a mention. Now, Annie Lennox of the Eurythmics, she likes a good hat, here she is, but frankly, the less we hear about that stupid cow, the better. Now, Midge said he wanted some interesting hats, and I thought, what's the best hat? And probably the face mask hat from the film 1984. And yes, there is no hat on the cover, but never mind. But I thought it was interesting anyway, because George Orwell used to ride a Henderson 4, an American bike, when he was in Burma, I think, and it made me think of this scene. Now, not the 1984 film, it's the 1950s, there's BBC adaptation. Let's have a look at that. So here we are, this is the 1950s BBC production of 1984, and the bikes used here were the 1930s Vincent, I think they're Vincent Black Shadows, Vincent Black Prince and the Vincent Black Knight, because they're all enclosed and quite a sinister looking bike. So that's a lovely bit of classic bikery there for you. So that's George Orwell's 1984 rat face mask hat. So just a quick mention, Absolute Beginners, combine the two. So we've got a Vespa and a guy wearing a beret there on the back. So that's David Bowie, Jerry Dammers, Sade Style Council. Probably the best scene, it's a terrible film. Best scene is Ray Davis and is it Ed Tudor-Pole? More of him later. And there's a scene in the film. It's got a long panning shot, lots thrown in this film, but it was a bit overblown, underdone, and just didn't work, frankly. But here we got a scooter coming in on David Bowie. So we got a scooter and vinyl all in one scene. So it's absolute beginners, some great classic cars and stuff, but terrible movie. As I say, one of the scenes in that film, Ed Tudor Pole. Just a quick mention, I haven't actually got any records by Tempole Tudor, but there's a quickie, I think it was a Triumph kind of promotion with him, Eddie Kidd and Tamara Beckwith, and there's a lovely where he chases this woman around in a Mercedes and he's on a Norton. Some nice tunnel, nice sort of scenes in a cafe. It's called Tunnel of Love, or it's called Cafe Racer, and that's 1997. Let's take a quick look at this. Music by Joe Strummer, by the way. You can find that on YouTube.
Two girls turned out to be lesbians, right? And there's a geezer in front of me on one of those bit of jack crap, right? I'm sure it's that geezer with a rail.
And another one I haven't got with a quick mention. Well, I have got the DVD with Sam Riley in it from Control, and she's got the wedding veil hat on, and then you've seen the maid's uniform hat there. So this is I thought it was worth showing this clip. It's a Brighton Rock movie clip, and there's that famous scene.
They're too tasty.
It's got a lot of tribute to kind of Quadrophenia here. There's like quite a bit of a nod to Quadrophenia where they join up. Pinky joins up with the other scooters, and he joins the road and they're all following on behind like Vespas and Lambrettas. A lovely scene, lovely nod to Quadrophenia there. And there's also a movie on YouTube with the making of the remake of Brighton Rock. So this is Brighton Rock 2010, and a lot of the extras just in there as well. So again, a great scene. I love it when all the bikes come together. Great scenes, and then you've got the rockers there. Again, British bikes, Triumphs. Lovely scene. I don't like where they all sort of go around the roundabout and then stop, and they join up with the other group. But imagine being an extra on Quadrophenia and all that. So it's like everybody's just waiting with their scooters to come out for a day out. So anyway, thank you very much. Like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed that. That's Midge's 1 year anniversary involving hats. In this case, crash helmets and classic motorbikes. Thanks very much.
People try to put us to down, talking about my generation, just because we get around, talking about my generation, things they do look awful, talking about my generation, I hope I die before I get old.